The Story of True Stereophonic Sound by Granco. Yes, what you are about to hear is the story of true stereophonic sound. Now, I'm sure many of you have heard the false story of stereophonic sound, but this is the true one. And I would imagine by the fact that this has a hole punched in it, that this record was included on the top of a turntable on probably a home stereo console unit or something along those lines. However, there are no pictures of the Granco equipment on this disc. Granco is proud to present its warranty, list of components, and the story of true stereophonic sound. So apparently at the time, and I've never seen a Granco unit, maybe some of you have, but here's some of the features and types of equipment that they sold. I would guess this disc was probably pressed in the late 50s or 60s perhaps, but I don't know that either because there is no date on here that I can see. If anyone out there is familiar with Granco products, perhaps you can lead us in the right direction. Side 1 of this record is an exciting introduction to the fabulous new world of stereophonic sound. You will hear thrilling demonstrations of sound effects and musical selections in three-dimensional realism. You will learn of the background of this new system, how the stereophonic effect is achieved, and the important components of your custom component stereo console by Granco, and their functions. Yes, Granco goes on record for the ultimate in stereophonic sound reproduction. So you've seen the jacket, now here's the disc. And yes, I cleaned this disc using the method that's on my channel of cleaning records. And as you can see, there may be a little trace of moisture there, but the label did not come off, and the record is nice and clean and shiny. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this directly to digital from the turntable for your best listening enjoyment, and let's get started.
Greetings. This must be a thrilling moment for you, for you are embarking on a fabulous journey through a new world of sound with your new component custom stereo console by Granco Products Company, America's leading specialist in FM and stereophonic research and engineering. And though this set is quite easy to operate once you've familiarized yourself with the enclosed instruction manual, I would like to act as your guide in telling you of some of the wonderful listening pleasures that await you. The exciting broadcast that you will now hear in three-dimensional reality, the superb concert hall fidelity of recorded stereophonic music such as this. Fine music and good entertainment are just part of the wonders in this best of all possible worlds of sound. You will also enjoy unique stereophonic sound effects, both recorded and broadcast. Sounds that we almost take for granted in everyday existence will suddenly take on new beauty and meaning. Just listen to these sounds. Buzzsaw and motor. Telephones. Automobile. Breaking glass. typewriters, lions and elephants, riveters, planes passing overhead, I'm sure that you are familiar with all these sounds, but have you ever appreciated hearing them so much? Though we accept these sounds as part of everyday life, isn't it a unique experience to listen to them reproduced in depth electronically? To understand how this miracle of electronics is achieved, I will give you just a simple explanation of the theory of stereophonic sound reproduction. Just as in sight, both eyes viewing the same scene from different angles give a three-dimensional perspective. So too in hearing, it is necessary to listen from different angles to give proper depth. With stereo, two or more spaced microphones pick up the sound from separate sources, just as the two ears of a person would. These sounds are reproduced through separate amplifier speaker channels. This separation of the direction of the sound basically is how depth is perceived orally. Naturally, you must be wondering how stereo sound can come from a single record groove. Recording multiple tracks on a single tape enables the two sound channels to be kept apart and reproduced through separate electronic channels in the same machine. The two channels are picked up by a single needle in the new stereo cartridge. This is accomplished by the groove imparting up and down motion to the needle, in addition to the conventional side-to-side motion. It is then picked up by the amplifier channels and reproduced in two speaker systems placed apart in a manner which provides the stereo effect. Let us now listen to ordinary or monaural sound.
Ay, cosita linda, mamá. Ay, merecumbe pa bailar.
Now, listen to the difference in the same music recorded especially for stereo.
Ay, cosita linda, mamá. Ay, merecumbe pa bailar.
This little demonstration should dramatize the importance of stereo for full appreciation of sound. How much is lost when you listen monaurally as compared with the realism of stereo with its dual recordings with two separate reproductions, including depth, background, range, and balance. Remember that the component stereo custom console by Granco is a precision instrument built with all the skill that modern electronic science can achieve. Our exclusive Granco-matic control board makes various combinations of sound thrills easy to obtain. However, I strongly urge you to study the enclosed instruction manual thoroughly so that you will know how to handle this mechanism properly. and so that you can achieve maximum performance with a minimum of effort. In this booklet is also your warranty from Granco. In order that you may appreciate the importance of the various components of your stereo set, I will describe all the elements and tell you of their functions. Of course, there's a full FM, AM chassis for efficient reception of AM or FM radio programs, either separately or simultaneously, for standard or stereo broadcasts. There are two separate amplifiers, each having full power output sufficient to fill the grand ballroom of the Waldorf Astoria. All Granco stereo equipment ranges from 20 to 60 watts output. A bidirectional speaker system placed strategically with proper distances separation for true stereophonic effect. Actually, when you turn on your Granco console, the whole room plays. Deluxe 4-speed record changer with a 45 RPM spindle. This fine changer is assembled with an exclusive air cushion suspension which completely isolates the changer mechanism and the tone arm to assure the elimination of mechanical noises and feedback rumble. A scientifically matched stereophonic cartridge designed for the ultimate in stereo reproduction. There are 2 needles in the cartridge, including a diamond needle for high fidelity and stereo records. This instrument is equipped for full range 20 to 20,000 cycle response. This covers the full range of all known sounds for the human ear. The speaker system has balanced woofers and tweeters, each scientifically matched by weight and by cone. The word woofer means low bass sounds which fall into the low or 20 cycle class. The tweeters are designed to receive clearly without distortion the high range up to the 20,000 cycle sounds. Each of these is encased in a specially designed separate baffle enclosure. All of the component speaker systems used by Granco Products Company combine a crossover network for optimum high-fidelity reproduction. Each Granco component console features 2 bass reflex enclosures, which are special chambers within the cabinet to prevent sound leakage, distortion, and rumble. With these additional chambers, all of the beauty of sound is projected without loss to the listening area. The exclusive Granco-matic push-button keyboard gives you complete automatic selection. With the touch of a button, you can select monaural phonograph, stereophonic phonograph, standard radio or FM, and when the occasion arises, for simulcast or stereophonic broadcasts. You can use both AM and FM radios simultaneously. The chassis is so designed as to permit, by the use of jacks, additional equipment, such as extension speakers, external speakers, input and output stereo tape, as well as provisions for multiplexing, the stereo broadcasting system of the future. All of the known factors for stereophonic equipment have been provided for in your Granco console. All these very fine electronic components are enclosed in a distinctively designed and beautifully executed cabinet, manufactured exclusively for Granco. Each unit has been hand-rubbed and thoroughly inspected before cartoning to assure you of complete satisfaction on delivery. Before leaving the factory, this instrument was carefully tested for acoustics. Although in setting the controls marked bass and treble, we can record balance by instruments and control the high and low sounds. Naturally, we cannot control your hearing level. This last operation is based on the individual's hearing, and if the effect does not sound right to you, you can make the necessary adjustment easily with the help of the comprehensive instruction manual, which you should study carefully to get the fullest enjoyment most easily from your set. Now, turn the record over. Be our guest. Sit back and enjoy your first thrill in listening to true stereophonic music. We know that you'll have many happy hours of listening pleasure for many years to come with your component Stereo Custom Console by Granco.